Ayantu!
Yeah?
I'm going to sell our ox. You take with you what you want to sell too. Let's meet at the cattle market.
Okay.
I have now understood how to improve the life of my family. Now I have realized the means to expand my business. It feels so good using one's own bank. Choose the bank that's committed to bring prosperity for all rural and urban people of Ethiopia. Cooperative Bank of Oromia Share Company.
The area of Salale, with its rolling hills and lush meadows, is located 110 kilometers northwest of Addis Ababa. Among the rolling hills east of Fiche town is the village of Shebel. Shebel is a fertile land of farmers, endowed with streams at every corner. To the east, the river Jama stands guard at its borders. The melodious culture of music and dance, however, hides a sinister and old tradition that spells pain and torment for some who reside in this outwardly beautiful village. A deep-rooted norm and tradition that prevents some members of this society from a life of joy and fulfillment. Abebech Gobena was one such young girl who lived in the village of Shebel. According to an old tradition of the village of Shebel, a family is always ready and proud to give its daughter in marriage, not so much with the young girl's happiness in mind, but more to increase the number of friends and relatives. In the traditional wedding season of 1947, young Abebech's mother was busy preparing a wedding feast for her daughter. But the young bride-to-be Abebech would be the last to know about her fate.
What is this party for? It is going to be enjoyed. Shouldn't I prepare a party for whatever reason I like? Why? Oh, don't ask me questions like this. Go and play with your peers.
The incidents of those days and some of the events of Wezero Abebech Gobena's life has been simulated and dramatized in this documentary film based on information obtained through interviews of different eyewitnesses.
How do you say that she should give this little girl for marriage? Why do you talk about her age? Abebech is not a little girl. Women are never little. She should get married and marriage is good.
One of the most harmful traditional practices in Ethiopia is that of early marriage, and Abebech was a victim of such a practice. The marriage was conducted forcibly, and she was taken to the house of her new husband without even so much as knowing what he looked like. One day, Abebech escaped from a new home and went back to her mother only a few days after her wedding. This was a daring act that has never been heard of in Shebel. It was a difficult decision that was hard to swallow, even for her mother.
Please enjoy that, Allah.
I will. This is blessing of God.
How is the hustle?
There's no hustle. It's about happiness.
Yes, it's happiness. Thanks to God. I believe the marriage of my daughter will be very colorful and exciting.
Yes, of course. There's no doubt.
You see, it is lucky to get married at such young age.
Yes, such a person is lucky, blessed by God.
She is making me proud. Who's coming at night? Oh, my daughter. Where are you coming from? Are you alone? But why are you coming here? Just tell me. Why are you trying to be the prey of beasts? Why do you expose me for gossip?
Don't yell at her seriously. She may flee. No, it's not my home. I don't need it.
Just listen. She says it's not my home. She got married, then I called for a party and she disappeared.
In most of rural Ethiopia, since birth, young girls are subjected to various kinds of harmful traditional practices. They are subjected to female genital mutilation, early marriage, abduction, rape, and physical abuse.
She got married. Then I called her for a party, and she disappeared. At dawn, you will go back to your home.
It was from this forced marriage that young Abebu tried so desperately to escape. Being subjected to harmful traditional practices scars one's life with a desperate beginning. Then, self-abuse follows as the victim develops low self-esteem and lose hope. Their last desperate measure is committing suicide. To free victims from such practices, it is important to educate the person and free the mind. Abebu was handed the big responsibility of marriage at the age of 11. A wife is expected to accept the husband's superiority and not protest whether she is yelled at or beaten. She is even considered to be a servant of her husband's family. At that age, she has no wealth of her own and is herself considered a piece of property of her husband. One harmful traditional practice paving the way for another, adding insult to injury. As Shabel's tradition dictates, her mother Wezero Wasane invited the newlyweds back to her home for a party to celebrate the wedding, locally referred to as Mals, which means return. While her mother was busy entertaining her guests with food and drink, Abebu was contemplating on ways to escape from this unwanted and dreadful marriage. Fortunately for her, she somehow managed to come up with a solution. In the end, she managed to escape from her husband and mustered enough courage to make the trek through the forest, sleep on trees to escape the wild animals at night, and pass through villages she has never even heard of.